Hello and welcome back to Songs of Syx. We are continuing on with our Dark Fortress playthrough. I keep saying Dork Fortress. I cannot seem to stop myself. The city's going well. We are short on odd jobbers, and it tends to be our biggest issue, but we've kind of stabilized health and food to certain degrees. We have a bit of an army going right now, including conscripts on the map. Conscript group of archers who still have like 100 days of training going. But as you can see, we've managed to expand all the way down to Girdbrack, kind of cutting off all trade from the north and south unless it goes through us, which is real nice. And we have a couple of like there's a small human kingdom here. There's a small human kingdom here. There's a medium-sized lizard kingdom here, and then there's like a big pig kingdom and a big insect kingdom down here, which is pretty fantastic as far as I'm concerned, because I feel like those are people we're pretty likely to end up at war with in the nearby future. So the big things that I want to kind of start sorting out a bit of today, I see I'm maxed out on tools. You have switched over, and you have switched over. We got to get the workforce situation sorted. Because like while housing is generally pretty good, everybody else is having not so hot a time, and it means that a lot of my warehouses are not running very well. Part of that issue is I've been thinking about, I had a dream about building a little Bailey/logistics district right out here outside the city walls with maybe a bit of a star fort design around it. That would then allow for trade goods to pop into here, into here, into here, and into the Amoevan town through the eastern gate. Thought maybe that might work decently well. Could have a lot of export-import depots. But obviously, I need population for that. And population is some of our biggest issues. It's a bit hard to say like exactly where all the jobs are. Currently, the mines, obviously, are occupying a sizable chunk. But they should be like strictly Garethemi. Yeah, they're only holding 40 out of 50 right now, which leads me to believe that, yeah, definitely. We need more people in all of our regular towns. Dondorians just need to fill in. You know, they are like one of the rare non-homeless populations. And then I think an issue is it's like pig people are working in these weavers right now. Yeah, they're almost exclusively Cretonans. So some of this can actually get fixed with some priority work. Because while the Cretonans are technically better at weavery, you guys get 25% fulfillment. You get 75% fulfillment. It's just that the humans are closer. So, unfortunately, I am kind of wanting to set them up there. They're also working all the bakeries, which are 25%, which is 0% for humans. I wonder if I put these guys neck and neck on these. Would that help us out a little bit more? You guys definitely do not want to be working these metalsmiths. This doesn't make any sense. The Dondorians should be working the metalsmiths. And pretty much only the Dondorians. I don't know why those guys would be in there at all. Minus 50%. Terrible choices. The Garthemi, maybe. But primarily, that's got to be Dondorians. I think this is going to help us sort out some of what's going on here. This primarily needs to be them. That needs to be them. You're okay splitting that. You guys are working there. Elves love hunting, and I think we're fine with that right now. You guys like fishing. We'll put you and you there. We'll put you and you there. The mushroom farms should be Dondorians over everybody else. Yeah, see, these are all my problems here. This is the consistent issue. It's like a lot of these grain farms right now are being working by like Cretonan slaves, I think. And I don't know that that's really what we want them doing, considering the fact that they're not really around. These masonries, for example, should only be being worked by Dondorans. That I don't really care about. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. These are all I'm happy to have split. It doesn't really matter who is working those jobs. You guys are the only ones working that. Schools, that's humans. Fulfillment 0%. I feel like, yeah, you guys and you guys are probably the only ones who should be working that breeder. Absolute chaos. Okay, so that's a little bit better. That should help him with some of this. Haulers, unloading stations, 35 janitors. 35 janitors? That seems like you're all on auto janitors. Well, I guess there's a lot of janitorial work to be done. But I mostly feel like that's because logistics is really bad. So, Doc, hello. Gab, no problem, no worries. Big rainstorm. I hope it breaks the heat. We had a bit of a rainstorm this weekend, and oh, it was such a godsend. This time even warehouses a single employee. All right, so that's part of your problem. You need like 5 employees. Dorian Trade House is 1. That one has 3. I think you also need 5. You have none. You have none. You should probably have 5. You have 3? I think you can get away with 2. You have 15, but that's correct because you're running slaves. And you have 2, which feels fine. Okay, so there's like scattered random humans available for homes. I guess the question is I have like 113 Dondorian homes and 103 human homes. So let's bump you up to 1,000. Somehow I have a single Cretonan. I think we must have let him be free. And Amoeban homes, I have 38 left over. So I guess you can go up to 250. We'll authorize a few more of those guys in here. Stacks of fish. Yeah, logistics is really like all of these fisheries are totally maxed, which is kind of fine because like our food is absolutely bonkers right now. Our grain firms are not cutting it, and we've been trying to tech them up, but we can't really tech them up anymore unless we start putting tools in there. But you know what? It's not really that far behind. So that's okay. I'm happy enough with that. We recently built a guard post. 18 guards. I don't know that that's necessary. This is our big central guard post. What I got? I don't know, man. 10? In our gibbet cage? One of these days, we'll have people patrolling the streets in a bit more sensible manner. So, I kind of just gotta wait for people to make babies. Is a bit of the truth of the matter. A handful of insects that have kind of moved in here. All throughout. A bunch of humans as well. I think something I should consider is taking the religion of these guys, and I think I'm only going to allow them to practice Aminism because it does give submission. Actually, I think when it comes to slaves, I'm only going to allow slaves to practice animism. Which is, I see is going to plummet their happiness a little bit, but no, but it's... I don't know, man. It'll make sense. I have been thinking more about how, like, you know, oh, I only have the Shrine to Athuri down here, so all the Dondorians are Athurian. I mean, they kind of were already, but I wondered if I put a Shrine to Aminism down here, would they start to convert? It's a bit of a possibility. Especially if I was to do something like put a temple down there instead. We're really hurting on rocks of all kind, and we're not making enough jewelry. Which is also a little bit problematic. But we're doing good on metal, which is excellent. Because that means as time goes on, I can start putting more people on these smithies. Which will help everybody out. Yeah, we kind of just like need people to make babies. Just kind of need babies everywhere. 43 furniture you say you have. I have 1 Amoeban noble up here, 2 Dondorian nobles down here, and then 4 human nobles in the city, but I have 10 in total. I need a second Amoeban noble. Because it's 2, 2, and 6. I need 2 more nobles here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Do I want to build them just like that? Or do I want to like bring them up here? Should all the nobles be right in the entrance? Kind of don't want to bar this passageway around. So I'm going to let them move in a little bit. Ooh, actually, maybe. Maybe, baby. Better idea. Let's just have them point north. Then I can have the best of both worlds. There you go. What do you know? And I will need another noble Amoeban home. Which is tough. This one is only made out of dirt, though? No, this one's also made out of grand. I mean, I think it's going to have to go here, because if it goes any further up, it's going to get noise complaints. It's fine. It's fine. Heard the nobles should live near the stockades. Probably not a bad idea. Keep them in line. Region's in trouble. Gerald Brecht, your town hall is not operating correctly. The city shrunk so much it could not grow. But now it is. Okay. Okay. I mean, everything is working correct here. As long as food is rolling in and peoples are rolling in, we're in an okay shape. Plus, we have guys training. If I am at max rations, I am making 48. And it's 25 to supply an army. That's right. If I was to put a little bit of technology in this ration maker, over here. What would that put me to? 55. That would allow me to host a second army. So now, perfect. I can recruit 50 Garthemes with basic spears, shields, and like low amounts of training. And these are literally just meat shields. So I'll have really good archers, and then I'll have a bunch of Garthemi. And they're technically not slaves because they're conscripts, but, you know, potato, potato. We know what they really are. They're designed for the endless hordes. Wow, some of these Dondorian homes are looking real nice. Green ore. That was the other big thing we were working on, wasn't it? Yeah, we were digging out a path down here to the green ore. Yes, indubitably. With that fungus highway. Yeah, we're down to 120 jobs. This is good. This is good. We just have to be like a little patient. Some people are dying, presumably from, I don't know, disease is the most likely. We could also start considering stuff like burying, having an actual graveyard. I don't know where we'd put it, but you know, I talked about another grain yard down here. If we need more harvest, which, like, I don't know, that seems to be going back and forth on whether or not the harvest is good or not right now. I think basically as we get up our population and we can have more people working on the grain farms, then that problem solves itself. So maybe a good thing that we could do while all this is working out is planning out this trade district. That would be the inner wall, I suppose. Let's say if it went 40 long. And then kind of my idea was like we would create a almost like a star fort so that they could always fire back. Hollow Eclipse, a hexagon. How would you look? I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Would obviously need some tidy here. Because we'd have to do something foolish like this. 2, 3, 4. Maybe like that. Could work. As you figure out the outside. How do we do? We lost 65,000, a lot of which was from mercenaries, quite a bit from inflation, 41,000 from inflation. But most everything else is going up. Some of the basics down. Leather, we seem to be burning through at a decent rate. Yeah. We are making leather armor now too, so something to consider. Affluent houses near to stock aids, convince them it's beneficial for the stock markets. That'll trick them. That'll trick them real good. So there are many things that we will need to make this place work. I guess one is like paved roads need to be there and there. To make a wee bit of sense of this. So yeah. Yeah. Those would kind of be like the two gates out of town. I still like that. In the old logistics. I mean, I guess just it's like realistically, this is probably just one massive warehouse. Like 19 by 20. $19 by $21. Then we're what? 5, 5, 4, and 4. I mean, sure, that would work. Kind of. But not very well. Yeah, the spacing of this is no bueno. Maybe if those were on 5 points, that would work better. Do you need that in the center then? Yeah, probably you do. You've come so close to being reasonable. So very close to being reasonable. Something like that? Let's try out some patterns here and see how we feel about them all. Because this is about, like, how do we hyper maximize? I mean, that's a pretty big warehouse. I don't think doing small ones like that would do any better. Right? Title unlocked. Gained by having your papers in order. The bureaucrat. Government points. Plus 4.37. I don't know what we did this. I don't know how exactly that one unlocked, but it seems like we can have a lot here before we break insulation. We can have a crazy amount of doors here, so I think that would be it. That allows like 13,000 storage. It's a big center warehouse, so. Morrow, hello. Got recommended out of nowhere. How's the game so far? Played for a year or two ago. Curious how much the game has changed. Not a whole ton in the last year or two, but they have added in a handful of stuff. Probably there's been 2 major updates since then, one of which was knights. So you can have like mounted characters. You can race war beasts. And the other one is this update, which updates the tech tree. So it's like much cleaner and sort of tabbed out. It adds family trees for different people. Not you, you're a tourist. But you can see family trees and track like who comes from who are their babies. It also adds in a bunch of new stuff for laws, rebellions, slave revolts, justice, that sort of stuff as well. So I would say there's been solid updates. It's definitely a good reason to come back to it if you haven't played in a few years. Age of Wonders next DLC should have turtle people. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. I'm going to put an unloading station, I think right there. Because the idea is that things should be shipped to this warehouse. And then I think walked via warehouse people from here. If this is what this is going to be. Which also leads me to believe import depots. I'm curious with the import depots. Can I have them accept multiple things? I don't think I can, right? I don't know if I make them bigger if I'm allowed to, or if it just means they can import more of the same thing. One of my issues right now is we have all these goods being imported from the outside colonies. Leather, gems, grain, other stuff. I kind of feel like a guard post here would also be sick. Sort of low-key love that. Loading station I don't think would be correct here at all. Could put in a big export depot. Now, same thing though. I think export depots can only export one thing at a time. But I could have like one big export depot that can purge certain products, but maybe that would be better off as just like many export depots. Two export depots, I suppose. So this will make for quite the district. This will make for quite the district. It will, of course, need things like torches. There and there. And there. Statues in between. I don't know how much I can really have those blocking the gates. It's probably not efficient. So I'll shift them a little bit more than normal. There. Yeah. Dirt roads. A lot of this needs to be highwayed, but like that's to come afterwards. I think you would have torch here and here. That's going to there. So honestly, I think we could just say there and there for 2 more torches. These are not torches. These are statues. I am a fool. There and there. These are still statues. Can I get this right? What am I doing wrong here? Remove. Torch. Torch. So actually, torch. Sure. We could do bench. Why not? It's a busy trade network. Bench. Bench. Those are facing the wrong way. Bench. I could be pleased with this. We've already picked up 100 workforce from where we left off, where we started. The humans are having a bit of a hard time with where they want to live. Which I don't know is like an easy solvable answer at this point. This would provide a lot of jobs, which would give the humans a bit more reason to move kind of into these districts. I think I'm going to build them some more houses just down here. These houses are also not made of stone at the moment. Which is potentially a little bit worrisome, but we'll try not to freak out too much. Yeah, we'll do that. Boom. Ba-boom. Activate that right away. And set it to only humans. Oh yeah, I talked about also building like a marketplace over here. I think that marketplace might actually have to just go here. Given the requirement of other things in this area. So this would be like a central hearth. I might just do this like really big and ugly. Because it's kind of like the center zone for everybody here. Guard station. Then we'd have a speaker. We'll say there. Laboratory is like the one thing I don't really have planned out for this. These at their biggest are 8. Snake oil. Unscrupulous merchants selling wares of dubious value were attracted by your city's lack of education. Are you calling me dumb? While things like talismans and charms at least do not cause harm, the various tonics supposed to cure every single ailment regularly make your subjects sick. Throwing out the peddlers and forbidding the trade of unknown remedies will likely anger some subjects who are already convinced of their effectiveness. Forbid the sales or ignore the issue. Ooh. What's going to be tougher, happiness or people getting sick? I am more concerned about people being sick, I think. Yeah, health gets bumped, but happiness goes down. While the ban did improve health, some subjects resent you for this. They convince themselves of the efficacy of whatever was sold to them long ago. It seems as if it was an attack on their health. That's okay. So 4x8. What if I did 4x8 over here? My only problem with doing this is I wanted these outer walls to be much thicker than they currently are. Like at least 4 thick. So I think I'd have to do it like this. Food stall and market. And distribution market. Appreciate you showing it off. Gotta go. Take care. Wish you good luck. Not a problem, my dude. If you have more questions, feel free to come back. We won't hold it against you. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is going to help these guys out a lot. I do think this wall is probably got to be at least 3 thick. Which admittedly feels a little bit nutso, but like 3 additional thick. Just because that allows us to put like 2 rows of archers on it. So, yeah, I have a little bit of room there. But I don't really have any decorations in place yet. Those would cover that. Those would cover that. I could probably just do a single torch there. Honestly, I don't even think I need these big ones. There's one there. That's a guard station. Never decide how I want to do things, can I? That might honestly be enough. I'm willing to give it a shot. So I think let's activate these. Because I do think this is going to be a bit of a build. And like furthermore, I kind of got to stone this all in. My hopes is also just this is going to push a few more humans into this area. Give them places to live. Immigration. Why are the Dorians leaving the city? We must honor Athuri better. We want to eat more. Once we were united as brothers, now everywhere I look, I see green, red, and even blue faces. Now, I'm not a racist, but some of these are lower breeds, my lord. You're not a racist? It sounds like you might be a racist. He also wants me to have more soldiers. Torches, mushrooms. I'd like to see some water. All the real jobs are taken, and Amoevan is leaving because they want eggs. Dude, I don't know how you don't have eggs as an Amoevan. We have so many eggs in the city. I think this is just a bit of unhappiness right now because of us taking away their tonic water. There's not a ton I can do about that. Seven fully trained Dondorian paladins. Handful of archers. This dude is hella cheeky, the writer of the game. I mean, yeah. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. I guess this is all going to take a lot of wood, so I may want to fell some trees. He says as if there are trees to be felled. One of the biggest problems is these guys are like desperate for wood up here. Oh, there's a few trees around. Chop them all down. We're a dark fortress. This needs fancy stone to get built. But we're slurping all of those up in our new noble huts. That's the thing, is like we're adding a good few jobs in here right now, so we are gonna lose a bit because of that. Now you need to be upgraded back to tier 2 city. Great, because now your bank and your physician's guild and stuff will actually work. Okay, we have a new hearth here. That's wonderful. We have a second food stall. Excellent. Merchants. Excellent. I don't think you need to be storing livestock, but yeah. Clothing plus 10. Okay, rations are good. That well will be built momentarily, and then they're going to spend a lot of time trying to dig up the rocks we need. Build in a brawl. This is one problem is like I need to get stone up here. Right now there's no clear path for doing that. And this is mostly just because we don't actually have like enough excess stone. Right, like this is meant to store up to 80 and it basically is 0 at all times. Slaves are acting a bit out of order and submission seems to be low. Perhaps it would be a good thing to free a few and raise spirits. Okay. Yeah, you guys are pretty upset about the state of religion because I've banned all of your worship. Okay. We're gonna let some slaves go free. Let's say Bretonins. Slave children. Regular slaves. Honestly, I just don't want this many Bretonins. I guess really I should just be freeing slave children, right? You can't free slave children. he says perfectly normally. Oh, that made them happy. Smash up to 100 and... Wow, a lot. Wow, you have to let very few slaves free before they get happy. Now, that will go back down, but... Look at our food warehouse, absolutely stocked. We got veggies, we got fish, we got bread, we got meat, we got eggs. We got mushrooms, even? Wow, we even have mushrooms. We even have piva. Or had piva for a brief moment. That's great. Still not like a ton of food, but it's a start. I don't know what to do with all these people leaving. Happiness and law. I mean, the law seems to be great. There's no prisoners. It's just that happiness is being reduced by this event. For 5 more days. Yeah, we're just going to lose some people due to this event. That's all it is. There's not really anything I can do about that. Lots of money coming in. Did you enslave Superman's people? The pig people? We've enslaved basically everybody. Only Amoebans and Dondorians are currently not enslaved. And like the special people. Well, that's because they're special. I want to build this, but I just don't know how much it's going to screw us. Let's do it. We might as well let them start. They're going to take a while to do it all. Now you guys are back to being upset. They're mostly upset because I banned all their religions. Tyranny. Secret police. How do I get tyranny up? What makes tyranny? Improves justice, a court. How do you make tyranny? That's a great question. Take away their timer, that'll increase their tyranny. I am a tyrannical streamer. Yeah, this is becoming more and more a problem. What is going down? Services? It's maybe okay. Some natural propagation. We're up to 200 Garthemis. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My biggest issue right now is I actually can't keep up with everything these guys are bringing across, it seems. Because nobody works these loading stations. This loading station has one guy. No stations that can accept the selected resource. Insufficient workers available. Oh, well. So you got to go up to 11 then, too. Yeah. Because basically, if the logistics don't work, then nothing else really will work. Increase taxes with armed taxmen. Can we increase taxes? I don't think we can do that. Average global price. Tourists, technology, rating, status. Norathalo. Yeah, they seem to have changed the way the taxes work, because you used to be able to tax stuff differently. How much do we have? 13 gov points. I mean, all our homies are pretty happy. Hootsfort and Weesh are making lots of good loot. You guys are holding the borders. You could upgrade to Garthemi breeders. You're a tax collector workers guild. Travgoat is my guild city. Okay. Oops. It's time to lock the gatehouse. Because it seems like the slaves are getting ready to revolt again. Yeah, they're on revolt. God damn it. Wait. We have another thing here, which is we can lock this gate. And now they can't get out and join the revolt. Ooh, Lord. That looks like it might be a lot of slaves, dudes. Okay. Let's go into battle mode. Muster. Muster. Oh man. Not many of them. Muster. Go grab all of our units and get ready for this fight. Yup. Boy, even though I locked all them in there. So here's the cool thing. At least they shouldn't have weapons. Do you guys have cavalry? $99 slaves are trapped. That's fine. As long as I trap them, they will mostly start starving themselves to death. Now, that being said, this could just be a purge. How am I down to 38, up to 38 workforce here? Are all my unemployed people just slaves? Is this the problem? I don't actually have unemployment. I just have unemployed slaves? Because I could just open up more spots in the mines. But that doesn't make sense either. None of this makes any sense. You get reduced to 0 when this happens. But you all probably still count as part of your jobs. Well, there's not very many of them. So I guess the question is, you know what? Let's quick save this. Because I wonder if I open up this. Yeah, another 99 of you will come flying out of here. May the gods help us, the slaves are uprising. Please tell me you guys have bows. You have no ammunition. Is this because I've locked this building? Oh, for frick's sake. They're not wearing any gear. None of my guys are wearing gear. Aha. So only the guys who were town guards had weapons on them. Everyone else has to go to the warehouse, get their gear, and then they can muster. I was not aware that that was how this worked. Well, here's the deal. The throne is here. Which means technically, that's how they have to get in. Oh, all they have to do is touch the throne and they get it? Okay, so this is new. This is new to me. So I'm going to try some stuff here. We're learning. I'm going to unmuster all of you. I'm going to remuster you back there. But I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, open this gatehouse. Since all those slaves, I guess, are already in position. And now, if I muster you all, will you go get your gear first? Yeah, you can see them all stream down. They're going to grab all of their stuff. And then they're going to head back out. Now I can lock that, and I can unlock this one to start the revolt. And I think what I would like to do is say, like, you. Sorry, you. We'll go here in tight formation. And then we'll have you, like, here and you here, maybe. The rest of the slave train will come up. They'll join the uprising. I think they might just break through the gates. Break through the walls. That's a little cheeky that they do it that way. Shattering my poor homes. You guys like here, and here. You guys can maybe move back a little bit here now. Can engage all of them with them. So if they run to the throne at all, they get it. Interesting. And then I guess they just free every single slave. Huh. So if this is the case, I do need to have the fight out here. Like in the free city. So there's the couple of town guards that are already ready to go. Okay, now if I unlock this, will they try to sneak over here? Or will they all just come up and join? They'll just all come up and join, it looks like at this point. Whoa. That went super fast. Archers, can you guys try to figure this out a little bit better? These guys are completely ignoring us. Just completely and utterly ignoring us. So I guess if you don't have the throne in a house, they will just beeline directly towards it. Maybe? And then what happens to like all the slaves when if they win? Do they become emancipated? I don't understand. Do they just vanish? This might not be live. No, this is live. This is live. What's this game? I assumed I got wrecked this stream because it's similar to RimWorld. Sorry, Xmoo, I'm locked in trying to figure out the slave uprising mechanics. This is similar to RimWorld, yes. It is kind of like RimWorld meets Total War is the best way I would describe it. You build your entire city up. All of your people are individual people, but you end up, unlike RimWorld where you have like 16 people, in this you'll have literally thousands and thousands. We have 1,500 right now. So it's similar but different. You also end up in like a bit of a world conquest mode where you can send out armies around the map to help deal with things as well, which is part of the game's joy. It's interesting to see so many people get recommended this game whenever I stream it, because it is like a very beloved niche game. Realism and fantasy strategy genre, disgusting. Did we just die? No, we're not dying. It's just that we're losing the slave rebellion. And I've yet to determine really what that actually does. If anything. So I'm just gonna queue my guys up like this. Okay. Let's see what difference that makes. So release the slaves so they can start the rebellion. Who's trapped? You guys are not trapped. Delivery man, delivery man. What's going on? Why is the rebellion? There we go. So they actually have like 5 different armies. Right, because every different racial regiment gets a different group. So I guess you guys are up against them. You're probably up against them. Let's charge. Let's charge. You guys shoot them. You guys shoot them, maybe. Okay, maybe you guys shoot these guys. So we have a handful of spearmen who are in here just kind of holding the line. These are like our 7 town guards. I guess what's happening is they're trying to break through this because it's fencing instead of walls, so it's easier. And then we're just shooting them all in the back with a bunch of arrows, but I don't know how efficient that's actually working. You've killed 5, you killed 5, you've killed 0, you've killed 0, you've killed 0. It's a bit disappointing. I was hoping these Dondorian paladins would really rip apart a couple of elves, the slayers of children. Ah, yes, you know that's the name of a group of good guys when they're called something like that. And the archers are working. We have our cavalry here, who's not actually got any cavalry, but they're just kind of helping hold the line. Honestly, what I should do probably is try to move them down here. Because I think they're just taking arrow fire at the moment. Yeah, no, they're through. My town guard broke. Yeah, so they just run straight to the thing. So the wretches have plundered our stores and our treasury before deserting their masters. May the gods help us through this calamity. So they steal 260,000 and they're all let free. I mean, I think if this is the case, then we're just going to go for the original plan B, which is starve them out. Because I find it's a bit foolish you can't just do this from the start. All right, that's the last load for today. So I'm going to unlock that. So basically, as long as I keep this gate locked, there's 100 Garathemi who cannot join this army. It has occurred to me now, though, that we do need this structure. So this is going to be the castle. Which I suppose is going to be about this big. You haven't built walls around this at all, have you? These are all mud walls. There are meant to be mud ceilings in here. Here we go. Shoop, shoop. Shoop, shoop. Shoop. I'm just going to start with this as the design for the throne room for now. Could we build watchtower type places? Yeah, I mean, this is eventually meant to have a wall. There's meant to be a wall that kind of cuts around here on the outside of this and connects with that. which would make these slave revolts much easier to handle as well, because they would be forced to, like, sometimes the slave revolt forms out here and they have to come through this gatehouse. It's very nice when that happens, because I can put archers on these walls and I can just plug that with my paladins, who basically won't get killed. Theoretically, if I do this, I can just put all my guards in here. And then put my archers, like, here. Which we might try to do. Yeah, you can see there's a bunch of starving right now. It's all the slaves. Will this cut off my throne? I'm just realizing I think it will. No. No, I don't think it will. Because these are all ceiling tiles. I guess we'll find out in 1 second. There's a weird... why are my archers not getting supplies? Sorry. My archers are not getting rations. There are 1,000 rations out here. So they don't replace the jobs when you do this. Janitors, workstations, water pumps, unloading stations, loading stations, hauler, export depots, warehouses, army supply depots. Humans, you are going to be on critical. Clothing, those are rations. Okay. We might lose some guys here. There go the rations, so hopefully they'll get there in time. This is built, question mark? I think I need to move this twice. I think you can only put it in a building once the building's been built. Which is a little silly, but... yeah, a bunch of people are like dying of exposure and stuff now as well. Okay, I'm gonna grab my guards. I'll put them all right here. And I'm gonna say muster. And then I'm gonna take my 2 sets of archers. I'm gonna put them right here. And I'm gonna say muster. No longer employ as many emissaries as needed. Our diplomatic missions will suffer a penalty. I'm sorry, are a bunch of our emissaries also slaves? Because that doesn't feel like the kind of people we want doing that. Now I'm going to try this again. So this system is kind of causing me other issues is the problem right now. Yeah, these Dondo Belondos are gonna plug up this real nice with the Amoeban Knights. And the Town Guard will just kind of sit in the back. So that's good. So we have these heavy hammer paladins and these two-handed sword Amoebans. Here come the slaves, doot and doo-doo. They're gonna rip apart those walls, and then let me grab just the amoebans. These guys are standing. Could they be shooting? Fire at will. Thank you. So somehow these guys got hand of some bows. They're shooting me? I don't know how they got bows. I mean, I guess they were closer to the Boyer. I guess the elves work in the bow workshop, so it does make a little bit more sense. I also didn't know that you could shoot over walls, if I'm going to be completely honest. That is new knowledge to me. They're just going to take the throne. So I don't really think I can stop this. All right. So I don't think I have a choice in this slave uprising right now. I just don't think we have the army to hold it. So I'm going to take down everybody, and I'm just going to let them do their thing. Because otherwise my society collapses, so 326 slaves, so we're going to lose a lot of slaves, but I didn't know that archers could fire over walls like that. That's really interesting. You guys can now build all that. $126. Yeah, I'm down to 91 slaves. Yeesh. Yeah, they plunder quite a lot. They basically plunder 50% of everything you own. Seems to be the vibe I'm getting. Now I have 400 missing jobs. But I've learned a big lesson. We reached the slaves beat us up part of the game. Yeah. Basically. Those were your slaves? Yeah, that was a slave army. Alright, now we can move that throne back. Well, certainly the desire for more walls is coming into play, as you can imagine. I guess let's just, because it's going to be a line out from here as well. Maybe I could just, like, build a hexagon of some sort. He says, not sure if that's really the way that's gonna work. Like, if I was to say, ooh, I have to be like here? It could be like, you know what? let's just do this ourselves. That ain't gonna look right otherwise. It's a bit nicer if I freehand it anyway, a bit more natural. We'll actually probably cut more like that. So, I mean, you live, you learn. This is why you build walls. Do, 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 do. So what's interesting is it didn't really seem like I was able to stop the elves from getting bows either. Which is obviously a little bit problematic, as they are very good archers. I also don't know how this is going to work with this fishery here. Oh, I guess I could just have this fishery run down probably for most of it. Or make it like more centralized. Yeah, there's ways I can make that work. I'd like to activate this, but unfortunately we have a lot more other things to be building right now, so you don't need any people in you at the moment. Thank you. These import depots don't need anything. These guard stations definitely don't need 9. So it'll take some time to build. Game is 25% off on Steam right now. Generally, this game is also, if you're interested in playing it and you're not really sure on it, I believe the previous version is free on their website. So you can always try it out and then decide, oh, I do like this game. I want to play it. And then pay for it after. Which is a nice option. Why are these people trapped? They're not trapped. Nothing is trapped. Don't be so nonsense. I do like that we live in a place that's cold enough that whenever we have deranged people, they just die. Kind of solves its own problem. Just maybe a bit dark. No way like getting rid of the deranged homeless population by just letting them freeze to death on the streets of the city. Very humane. I guess this fancy highway I built here doesn't really make any sense anymore. We might as well move that to there. Get some blocks back, hopefully. Shame, because we kind of just set that up to speed things up. For right now, I'll allow that. Oh yeah, all right. We got a lot of population stuff to settle, and our health is 25 is like okay. Good news is like this is just a more manageable amount of slaves. I think the thing is we kind of went a bit nuts on that front, especially without having a proper standing army. You know, it's a bit hard to maintain everything. But everything is improving. You don't need to have anybody working you right now. This warehouse is almost ready. Do we know why the elves were rebelling? I had to step away. Everybody rebelled. Mostly because I banned all of their freedom of religion. Is the long and short answer. I basically said you can only worship this god, Aminian, who was like the god of slaves obeying the law. That's how I would phrase that. Jewelry. Fabrics. Interesting. Paper's not really something we have a lot of access to, but the other stuff is. Okay, this warehouse is just about to be finished. So this district actually came along much quicker than I anticipated. I'll give it that. Fill in these little entrances. And then build up those warehouses. Yeah, it turns out banning everybody's religion was not maybe the best idea. Maybe not the best idea. Yay! Okay, big warehouse. So you're gonna pull from there. These import depots are going to do things like accept leather. Never import. It's going to accept wood. It's going to accept gemstones. It's going to accept vegetables. It's going to accept... What else do we get shipped in? Fabric. An egg. And livestock. God, I actually don't have enough import depots. Whoops. Let's say 10. 10. 10. 10. So currently the idea is basically all the stuff that gets imported into the Empire from all of our external sources. But I'm also going to do things like put in extra storage for foods. Just in case we have extra. You know what? I don't think Piva's ever going to be in there. Furniture is good to store. Cut blocks. Yeah, metal blocks. Fabric. Basically all of the things that are furniture I want in here as well. Clothing. Tools will be wanted in here. Oh. No, actually, I am out. So if that's the case, let's say like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Sorry, you're imported, so 10. Gears. I guess I'll do paper. All right, let's just try that for now. One, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 cities, so I'm going to put on 4 delivery men. And then I'm going to say every place is allowed to take from here. Except for essential foods. warehouse. Human warehouse is allowed to take from there. Military warehouse is allowed to take from here. Slave pit, the TBD warehouse is allowed to take from here. And then this is like a trade hub. And the hopes is basically just that this can make my trading systems a bit more smoother. Also, it will no longer be dropping off all this junk here, and instead we'll be dropping it off here. And TBH, I'm probably going to have to get rid of this export depot and this export depot and put in 2 more import depots. In fact, I pretty much can just say that immediately that's going to be the case, so... let's just do that. Why not? Oh, it looks nice. I'm happy with it. Doesn't have the walls quite set up properly, but step at a time. Can't just tell people to believe in that other guy that does the same. I mean, you can tell people to believe in the other guy. It just doesn't mean that they're going to listen to you. Walls, 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 walls. I'm not sure that the stone wall really matters yet. Two and 4. Right. I guess part of this was like... these amoebans were meant to work at this fishery. And this fishery. In this cute little side town that we had going. Ah, well. Oh, it seems people like the benches and stuff here. We will be able to make this into a nice little area eventually. Occupation is one of the big things right now. You guys are pretty unhappy. Yeah, we lost a ton of stuff there. You guys are pretty happy. You guys are very happy. It's mostly that humans hate their occupations. And that's because humans only like going to school. Used by adults will educate or indoctrinate them. Settings for species can be adjusted in the species panel. So I think in order for them to be happy, I need a university, which is 50 administration. But I need 100 administration to get secret police. How am I ever meant to afford this? Oy, oy, oy. Humans suck, right? What are you guys out of? Unavailable coal. We're not making enough coal anymore? Because we don't have enough miners. I really need some Dondorians to move in here. What are you guys saying you don't have enough of? Your food stall has bad access and is not upgraded. You need cut stone for that. You need pottery for this. Tale of lawlessness spreads. Tales of a lawless Crotonian and his merry band plundering shipments and taxes and distributing them among the poor spread like wildfire throughout the city. I don't like that. Thankfully, the Crotonian is another despot's problems, but you still have to deal with the sudden disregard for your laws. Denouncing some of your peers publicly will probably work, but they will not appreciate that. I'm going to denounce my peers. Actually, I don't really have a law problem right now. Let's wait it out. The tale inspires imitators while they ultimately seek to help their fellows. It does hurt the city as a whole. We have not really been having a law issue. yet. So keep an eye on that. What is going on with pottery? You make 18, you use a lot for furniture. If 13 out of 18 guys here. Sufficient workers. Could we maybe just zhuzh up the pottery business? A little? 1.7, that's not very good investment. If I just had more people working in the pottery, it would be better. Yeah, it's really hard to get more Dondorians. This is a bit of an issue we're having. Like, we're letting them in whenever we can, but Robin Hood, famous hobnob thief. Robin Hood pig, pig Robin Hood, whoops. I'm gonna pump janitors up. Because once again, if everything is degraded, then nothing is really gonna work. So the janitors are gonna have like a lot of value. Well, this wall is coming together pretty fast. It occurred to me that I cut down all these trees in planning mode, didn't I? You sure did. I love cutting down trees in planning mode. Fool. Damnable fool. Call the sheriff of Eat the Ham. Oh, that's quite an aptly named city. So the other import depots I needed were egg and meat. Meat, animal, egg. Meat. So I think this is everything we import right now. Leather, animal, meat, egg, fiber, gem, vegetable, wood. So these are all the goods that come from the outside of our city. Okay. And we'll see how this kind of plays out over time. Oh yeah, man, we're so low on Garthemes now. 62. It's very much confusing me that they don't all live in here. Like, where are all my Garthemi? Warming up. Studying. A lot of them are children. And a lot of them are in like the Dondorian settlement. Because like the thing is I want this gem mine to be where they all work. Gem mine, iron mine. They are top jobs for them. Garthemi breeder, warehouse, sure. But they should be working these jobs over anything else. These are humans. These are non-prisoner humans. Like, no. No there, no there. Definitely not you or you. Terrible fulfillment on these jobs. I don't really understand why they'd ever end up in any of these spots. Like, you think it would prioritize the people who get fulfillment from that and have homes nearby with all of the stuff that they want and all the roads and blah, 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 but... Technically, part 2 of the last vid. I found the game and channel by a miracle. Game looks much fun. This is part 13 of the last vid. So there's going to be episodes coming out like every other day for the next while. So we are ahead by quite a bit. So you can get a taste. If that's what you're looking for. Woof, not enough stone. All right, I mean, like the workforce is it's fixing. It's a slow progress right now. And everything is like degrading really badly. I don't know what to put on like low priority jobs, you know? Like, I guess something like a bowyer could be low priority. I would say the brewery could be low priority. The school is maybe also low priority. Oh my god, you don't get educated. You guys don't get education. I'm sorry, no. Only the humans and the amoebans are allowed to be educated. I don't know how we have so many pig people in the city at all, considering I literally will not build them houses. Mason retailers, masonry potters. God, I hate to say it, but I think this jeweler is also low priority. Along with these smithies. Yeah. When it comes to like the priority jobs, that's definitely them. Ah, well. Season 3 teaser, right? Yep. Wondering what happened to the dwarves. They're around. They got their merry little cave home here. Nice and set up. Lots of room for expansion. They're never really that happy, which is a bit of a confusing issue. I can't tell what's really making them so upset. Other than, I guess, nobody gets to retire. Retirement age, 25. Offer your loyal subjects some well-deserved early retirement. At 0%, this decree will have your subjects work until they drop dead. At 100%, your subjects will retire once they reach 40% of their life expectancy. Your plebeians don't care about this, they say. That's not true, because that's a huge part of their fulfillment. Now I'm down to 183. Where are all these guys dying to? Someone was murdered, sure. All those depots and stuff are built. These new noble rooms have been built, which is good. And the one up here is still in progress, but we almost have all the noble rooms built, which is good. Mining towards the deposits deep in the cave and struggling to make cave homes. You got a whole city in there now. Yeah, we also have another secondary city that's full of bug people over here. It's slowly getting down into these ore mines. Not that I have the population for them right now. Oh, we're up to 80. Why are you guys so unhappy? Environment, expectations, fulfillment. I need to get my tyranny up. And I imagine that's what secret police do. Crimes go unsolved, but they don't have to. Confession by torture is a highly effective method to stop crimes. Finding out who caused last year's crop failure outbreak or simply people who are planning some mischief against you. You don't even need to have crimes at all. Just a round of tortures is very healthy for your subject's loyalty, but it does affect happiness in a bad way. Oh, maybe baby steps. You need to find a specialist or help him out. These aren't real. Worried about his mental health. I am talking to the tubers, yes. I always feel like I gotta give them special attention. Because they're much easier to miss. Humans got to make 11 too. Okay, we're at 180. So yeah, things are improving. I do have a major housing population problem, which is humans. 50 humans and 23 Amovans don't have a place to live. That's not true. There are so many human houses. Where the hell are the Amovans going if they think that they don't have homes? Recruits. Amoevan coal miners? Okay, I understand the recruits wanting homes. This is a 100% degraded bakery. Okay, but the janitors are working on it. They're just all over the damn place right now. How's the noise over here? Oh, well, it's really bad right now because of that woodcutter, but all right. We are making from taxes 780. We are making from woodcutters 74. I tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to get rid of this woodcutter. Problem solved. This doesn't go anywhere either. I need some houses for things like our recruits. And I think I'm going to commit the ultimate crime. Just build a big, dirty, disgusting block of them. With single row streets. Dare I do this? What am I building them out of? Stone? Yeah, I don't mind that. 10, 20, 30, 45. So it's almost a full regiment. So all the recruits could live there. I don't know if that's going to work well, but... let's give it a shot, because what's the worst that could happen? Any tips to pick this game up? Seems extremely complex. There are a couple of really good guides on YouTube. Strat Gaming does a very good guide for starting out with a elven colony. And I feel like if you start that, the rest just becomes problem solving. Because it's kind of, as you go, different problems start occurring in your settlement. So you just have to say, like, oh, this is my issue now. How do I start solving this? Fix it bit by bit. And then once you fix that, another issue will happen. And you'll have to be like, okay, well, now what do I do to fix that? It's not the hardest to pick up, but it does take a bit of time for sure. It looks a lot more menacing, I would argue, than it actually is. I wonder, should I put like an import depot for wood that doesn't actually import wood? And then some wood could just get dropped right down here, and these guys would be able to take it immediately. That is probably a smart idea, because this import depot is completely full. Yeah, that is a very smart idea. Let's do that. Is that as a torch? I'm just gonna move that torch over one, so I can build another little home here for these elves. At some point I gotta replace all these palisades, but boy, that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. That's pretty low down on the priority list. As a programmer, this is good, yeah. Remember playing EU4 for the first time? Damn, that was complicated. Now everything makes sense. Yeah, I mean, EU5 I had to watch so many hours of tutorials to get. Feel like maybe I just need more janitors. Honestly, at this point, it seems like these guys are doing fine. These guys are doing okay. They are working through the rest of that. This guy seems to be struggling. So perhaps another janitor somewhere in this area would be a big boon. And it's not like I don't have exactly an easy way to build him. Do I want him to face out or over? He fits like perfectly here. Let's just do that. Oh, and there we go. We get a nice little walkway here along the edge. I love it. Love it. Hello, fellow EU4 enjoyer. Remember trying to walk? You literally kept falling over in the beginning, and look at you now, sitting around for the amusement of others. Look at me now. My legs hurt. Tuber spies. 1.5k hours in EU. Whew-hee. EU5 hasn't really caught me yet, maybe with a few updates. EU5's good. EU4 definitely has the better mod scene at the moment, though. There's no doubt about. No doubt about. As they say in my native tongue. Tack on a couple little roads here. A bunch of these human houses need to be turned to stone as well, but, you know, obviously I can't keep my stone stockpiles up. Happiness is going well, though. And population is going up, so... I have a question, which is like, if I was to say Garthemi, 66 slaves, 26 slave children. Yeah, see, these should be 30 out of 30, all Garthemi. Like, they shouldn't be working any other jobs. Those are like their top choices for jobs. But instead, they keep pulling them into other areas, which is a little annoying. Dr. Sean, Master of Weavers, has passed away. The new Master of Weavers is RK Whiskey. What does Asbari and Sparabar mean? Oh, those must be ranks. CK3 is another one I wanted to try, but I never opened it. Oh man, CK3 is a riot. Love CK3. It will suck away a lot of time. Very easy to get lost in. Very fun to get lost in. What's this military doing? 7, 2, 2, 8, 12. Yeah, see, the problem is I don't really think our recruits can do a lot of training. I mean, they are training, but they seem to just be dying or leaving. I'm not really sure. Corpses. When did this happen? How do I have 190? Did an outbreak happen and I not get a notification? 196 sick people? We're gonna need another hospital. We're gonna need another hospital, like, immediately. Okay. This one has come as a bit of a surprise. Hum ho hum ho hum ho he. Ho hum ho hum ho hum ho he. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do a 4 wide around here. Kind of. This janitor is ridiculously in the way. I could do a 4 wide around here and get rid of this grain foraging, and that would actually make a lot more sense. And I could still allow it to connect up there. That would be wise. Love a big overview of your city. I could use some inspiration for my current game. I can absolutely do that. Let me just solve this really bad hospital problem we're having at the moment. I mean, I feel like that's one hospital. Putting one up here within the city walls kind of makes sense. My only problem is it's like not the right width. One moment, please. Please stand by. Ah, right. You can't really be that big, because otherwise you cause this problem. Meow, 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 Cindy, meow. Kitty cat meowing at my feet. What's up? Hi. What's going on? You're a kitty cat? No way. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Man, wait till chat finds out that you're a kitty cat. This doesn't work. This doesn't work at all. But if I did this... 34 patients? How many's in this one? 40. Am I losing my mind? What's happening here? Why wouldn't this just copy paste work well? Yeah, it's not really the right size, is the answer. It wants to be one bigger on one side. But it can't be one bigger, because that is not how it works. But if I want a 4 road, that would be 4. That would be the next step up. Okay, so that's a hospital. Thank you for your patience. Administering hospital. We're gonna get rid of all of this fence. Okay, so you wanted a quick overview of the city. The city follows as thus. This is the human part of the city. This is the center of the city, currently. It is sort of echoes out into farmland that this river comes into. So there's farmland going up the edge of the river, human settlement down here, along with some basic industry, and then sort of their housing all around here. In the center, you can see the skull, which is going to become the noble district. Throne room, there's some administration, some embassies and stuff in there. Military is down here in the lower part of the city, which then feeds into the Dondorian district at the mountain's edge. This is where all the Dondos live. They have their housing, they have a bunch of smithies and whatnot, and some mushroom farms as well, because everybody loves some mushrooms. To the north, outside the northern walls, there are Glovdian farms and onyx pastures. And then fishing, which we had to set up, along with some clay pits up here, where we created a small Amoeban settlement. The Amoebans are treated rather well in our settlement. They live a pretty bougie life for the most part, but they supply all the fish for the colony, as well as all of the eggs. And that's basically it. They also dig up the clay. And they have no other real jobs. They just get to live a life of luxury, helped out by the Dondos and the humans. To the east of the colony, and this was kind of like the major thing that themed this colony, was that we created this small little slave encampment, where we dug out this massive Garthemi home for an incredible amount of slaves that we once had, then put in gem mines, ore mines, and soon a, whatever this stuff is called, Stilton? Scythian? I call it Stilton ore. Where they are going to dig out and kind of have this massive bug network. They will continue to have more housing in here, as well as another central market, but only once we can actually afford to have that many of them working. The dwarves are going to kind of start expanding into these caves. And then we did talk about building a elven settlement and a pig settlement up here and here as well. Those are still kind of TBD, but right now they just live in the caves. They live in the caves and they don't really have any rights, so can't do slaves. It makes me feel bad. Yeah, no, 100%. And the funny thing is you can do them and just treat them really well, and then they're really happy and really productive. But I wanted to try doing it because this was like the justice update and the law update. I really wanted to try doing them to make things a little bit different. Only if you could stop them from beating each other to death. It has occurred to me that this central food should actually probably pull from here, seeing as all the imported food comes in here as well. So that's the loose setup for the colony. Sort of humans, dwarves, amoebans, Naugarthemi, and if we are able to, eventually, Talapis and Cretonans. I kind of like the idea of them just being outside the walls and being really like ramshackle cities that are not well run. And they can be like upset and they can leave and they can breed and they can just kind of work however they want. It gets a bit tricky because like in the next update, they're meant to be adding in sort of districts. So I could say like this is meant to be a human only area. And like the weaveries here are only run by humans, but that's not in the game currently. That is kind of like the final major update he's talked about putting out before going into 1.0. God, even my noble servant chambers, my noble chambers are completely degraded. Definitely we are having a bit of a janitorial problem. It's improving though. I would say that extra guy actually made a huge difference. Oh, these are in great shape over here. Have I conquered any other cities? Yes. So on the world map, we are the Dark Fortress right here at the edge of this mountain pass alongside of this river. And we own all of kind of this area. We go all the way over here to Gerard Brack. And then we swept into the southern human lands after there was a human kingdom down here, usurpators, and they collapsed. They owned most of this. They collapsed, and we just came in and we swept up all this stuff. So mostly it's like we have some wood harvesting here and here. We have a couple of cities that are like producing a lot of guilds, a lot of border guards, and conscripts and the like. We dig up some gems from the guild. We have some farms here and here just providing us a little extra meat. But it's a bit of a mixed bag. -2 emissary points. A little fixed. My original idea for the world map was I just wanted to go from sea to mountain and own this and create a trade barrier. We've actually managed to succeed at doing that. So currently we have a small human kingdom to the north, a small human kingdom to the west, a small human kingdom of usurpators down here, a medium-sized amoeban colony all the way up along this kind of archipelago up here, and then a massive insect colony that actually comes all the way down here. I don't even know where their capital is anymore. And then there's a big pig colony over here in pink. That's just outside of our borders, but you know, those are kind of some of our main unpaid internships right now. So am I planning to conquer more? Oh, I'd say. The big thing is, though, is that we need like larger populations so we can get more noble titles. Because you need government points to conquer stuff and build up outer cities. So until you have that, it's kind of really hard to do. But I tell you what, I think we're going to leave our first episode here today with that little overview. So you'll have to come back and see how we do in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.